CN8's Emmy Award-winning It's Your Call with Lynn Doyle starts now.
Hi there, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lynn Doyle. It's good to be back with you. In what has become a long-standing tradition here on It's Your Call, it's time to once again get your take on this year's Oscar winners. I have Tanya Hart here with us. She hosts Hollywood Live with Tanya Hart on the American Urban Radio Networks. She's in LA. In the other corner, we have Colleen Christian, who is Hollywood's Gossip Girl. Then we have Matt Felling. He's a media analyst. And here in the studio with me is Gene Foley. He's an entertainment agent and author. So everybody, thanks so much for being with us. Let's get back to the discussion. Gene, tell me what your impression was of this year's telecast, the actual television production.
I thought it was well done, and they said the ratings weren't that good, but I thought it was. I mean, Jon Stewart did it right. I mean, I'm usually a fan of his work outside of that role, but
It's Your Call was on Sunday night, and we're always such a big competitor to the Oscars.
Absolutely, they're afraid of you. They're thinking of moving to a Monday. I've heard.
Well,
when
we're
you're
on
vacation,
that too.
on vacation, though.
But you thought, in terms of the telecast, that compared to other years, this one was pretty decent?
Yeah, I do. I think it was better. One of the best I've seen in the last 4 or 5 years that I've been watching it closely.
And what do you think about Jon Stewart? So much attention is paid to the person who hosts the Oscar production. How would you rate his performance?
I think he did it right. I like him better in his own format and his own show. I enjoy watching that. But I think it's hard to win that situation, because by the next morning, there's bloggers all over the place slamming whoever does it. They can't win either way. Everyone saying, get Billy Crystal, get Jerry Seinfeld. Give the guy a break. It wasn't even 4 hours old and they're already burying him.
It's interesting that they always want to call back one of the previous performers, and yet they often say that it's a very difficult challenge, that it's exhausting, and a lot of people don't want to come back for that return performance.
Yeah, David Letterman's made that clear.
There is one Caesar in that entire theater, and it is Jack Nicholson. Every time any host comes on to the Oscars, they always pay homage to Jack Nicholson. Everybody always has to address him and his sunglasses in the front row. And until he's gone, he's going to rule that roast.
Boy, explain that to me. What is it about him that
Well, Jack's cool.
Everyone has the same impression. All age groups, doesn't matter who hosts, as Matt pointed out. Gene, there's just something about him.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson has that thing, that quality, that star quality, that you could meet him in a Kmart and not even know who he was, and you would know he's somebody. And the women go nuts for him. I mean, he's not exactly, I don't know, Tom Cruise or Dempsey or any of these other guys, but boy, they go crazy for him, all ages, young and old. He got it. I was very surprised that George Clooney didn't win, because it seems like Hollywood and the powers that be already anointed him like our generation's Clark Gable.
Gable, yes.
Yeah, he's always out there and he's doing everything. And it almost seemed when they called the name, it almost like he was ready to get up, and they called the other name, and it was like, "Oh, get back there, Tiger,"
And there is something very appealing about him, and as you say, it seems like he is the heir apparent to the glamour that was once associated with Hollywood. Talking about glamour, you always have to think about the women and look at those women who were nominated this year. I mean, they were glamorous. They were all wonderful actresses. What did you think about the winner?
I'd never heard of her, like we said earlier. Before, maybe a week or so before, I was reading a little preview. It's the first time I ever heard of her or the movie. So this was definitely the rookie class this year.
Colleen, for what do you think this Oscars will be remembered?
Oh, I think it'll be remembered for like a slew of downer movies and some good dresses. And still 1 in 3 TVs watched it. So
okay, Matt, how about you? How are we going to remember this quickly?
Well, I think that this will be a down moment in terms of the mood of the Oscars. They were mostly gloomy movies, but these things go in cycles. Remember Little Miss Sunshine, or Forrest,
it didn't win,
or Forrest Gump.
Okay,
these things, they'll be back.
Tanya?
Very quickly. What? I don't think people remember very much about the Oscars at all. What do you remember about last year?
Just that you were with us, girl. Thanks very much for being with us again this year. And Gene, how about you?
I think the Oscars is like the Super Bowl, just 2 great nights for Americans to get around the TV with their family and have some goodies and be entertained. It's a fun night.
All right. Well, this has been a fun night. Thanks, everybody. We really appreciate you all being here.